Hey guys, and welcome back to Chain of Memories. It's time for, well, a bit more tutorial action, I guess. We've learned about the cards, now we've got to learn about walking and swinging our keyblade, and just basically traversing, the field.
What was I doing again? I'm not sure. I'm gonna need a condescending narrator to tell me what to do.
Or, two obnoxious commentators, that works as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Which option would you prefer?
I prefer to strike barrels and basically everything in the field that looks like you can interact with it, because sometimes you'll get like health orbs, sometimes you'll get like Moogle points, more of which later. Sometimes, like there, you'll get card drops, and this is especially nice when it comes to Keyblade cards, because then you can put more Keyblades into your deck.
You'll definitely want to collect as many cards as possible. Trade them with your friends. It's great.
It's time to go for, a bit of first attack kind of thing. I'm not really sure what the term is called, but much like in, Mario and Luigi, Paper Mario, and certain like Tales of games, like Tales of the Abyss, if you strike an enemy first, they'll basically be dazed when the battle starts. So you always want to try and do this, because oftentimes it won't really matter, if the enemy gets to you first, but it's always best to have like a little bit of breathing room, especially when you're working with a new gameplay style like cards here.
And like the original, this game takes you to a separate battle screen individually for these various battles. And of course, in the original it was needed because of the console. So it's still a bit awkward to kind of have to do that in this version of the game, but I understand keeping things as consistent as possible.
I like how, depending on what room you're in, the battle arena will look different, so it's not just the same room every time.
No, I'll take you back to Traverse Town for this fight,
Oh my god, I'm in the Olympus Coliseum again, no matter what world we're in.
Yeah, you're pretty much doomed to never escape that.
Oh boy, the room card system. Essentially, you gotta get, through each world by traversing, a set number of rooms. Each door has its own requirements, as you can see. I don't know why I'm talking about this, it's, saying it on screen, but I've got to talk, I'm obligated to. So, you gotta pick the card that the door is asking for. Here, you just have to, have one or above, and it doesn't really matter what colour you pick. So, we're gonna go with the Moment's Reprieve here, which will give us a save point.
Now, I have to admit, I actually do kind of like this part of the system, because, you can basically sort of make your own dungeon as you're going. This is basically your dungeon crawling at this juncture, and if you get the right kind of cards, you can kind of build an easier path. You can build a more complex path to get treasure, tougher enemies, things like that. So if you like that kind of mechanic, there's actually a lot of replay value here in terms of how you want to approach a particular level.
Ooh, potions. I believe they can reload all your attack cards, in a single burst.
Potions for, reloading cards, and max potions and ethers, do that as well.
Ethers are for magic-based reloads, I believe. These are my practice files. Gaze upon them.
30 MP, what?
I'm sorry, man, I'm only level 1. Cut me some slack.
I'm not cutting you any slack. Step up your game. This is for the internet.
This is going to be a very weird type of playthrough, because you may find us getting a little bit, well, maybe not nostalgic in Helldragon's case, more cynical.
Some nostalgia, some cynicism. Like I said, I did play this game to completion back on the GBA, and back then I was really actually kind of into Kingdom Hearts. I was looking to get the next thing. So kind of going back to those, earlier days, it's still going to inspire some nostalgic feelings in me.
After all, HellfireComms is the Sonic and Kingdom Hearts group.
Something like that, yeah.
Gotta eliminate the strongest threat first, which in this case is the soldiers. We're starting off small here.
I mean, we're still kind of getting used to everything. I'm still glad they kind of set up a little arena for you to fight in. That was very gracious of the organization, when they were setting up Castle Oblivion.
Here's a little bit of a change. When you do, certain sleights and the like, which is when you combine 3 cards together, sometimes you'll get a reaction command. This obviously was not in the original Chain of Memories.
I mean, they only had 2 buttons to work with, well, and the shoulder buttons, I guess, so... I think the dodge roll in that game, you actually had to double tap the button. Well, here you just get your own separate button. You don't have to do it on the directional pad this time.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward.
The best part about the original Chain of Memories, obviously, was seeing that Sora sprite and a ton of sprite comics. It was great.
Now we can raise our health, we can raise our card point CP boost, which means we can, carry more cards in our deck, or we can learn a new sleight. I'm going to go with HP boost, and if sleight is pronounced anything other than what I said, that's just how I always pronounced it, because it just reminds me of sleight of hand.
I will consider it a slight if you don't pronounce it the way you pronounce slight.
Oh, you're just so funny, Howard Dragon, that's why I bring you on for these Kingdom Hearts commentaries.
Exactly, because it's certainly not for my like of the series.
Oh god, this is a long part.
I have to say, though, in terms of my own gameplay style, when it came to A Chain of Memories, I didn't really like using a lot of slides. And I understand, in some situations they're good. My problem with it is that in order to do certain abilities, like, Ragnarok, Strike Raid, things like that we'll get later, you had to use slides. And the thing is, when you use a slide, one of the cards vanishes, and it doesn't come back when you reload the deck. And I was always paranoid about running really low, and not having a good deck to work with, so I always tended to rely a lot on just the most powerful single cards I could get, and I barely used any other abilities. And I understand that maybe without using some of these abilities, I had a harder time in the game than some people, but at the same time, like I said, I was just paranoid about that kind of thing. So, obviously, other people have had more optimized gameplay styles than I have.
I will try and, mix it up every so often. I have, special strategies for certain bosses, but I tend to, mostly due to muscle memory, I might add, I mostly tend to play RE Chain of Memories, or Rechain of Memories, or whatever, as if I was playing Kingdom Hearts 1. So there may be, certain points where I'm spamming slights, and obviously that's not an optimal thing to do, but it's a hard tick to break, I gotta say.
In terms of the gameplay in this game, it's very close in speed to the original Kingdom Hearts, which makes sense being a sequel.
Sorry, were you confused about the fact there was no battle there?
Yeah, because I know you were going to bring that up, and I was waiting for that point to bring up, and that just threw me off. So, it's my understanding that obviously to avoid a lot of repetition in terms of the game, you're just pretty much going to cut out a lot of the random battles except where it's relevant. And obviously boss battles are going to be it. No, we're going to skip the Ursula fight. I think we all know what that's going to be like.
Yeah, when we get to the end of the game, I'm just not going to put it up. The playthrough's just going to end prematurely. But, I tried to keep Traverse Town, mostly intact, just to show you how the game works as a whole. But, from the second world onwards, I'm definitely going to be abridging it. It's basically, we're going to fight our way to, the first, key door, and then we're just going to go to the next one, and then the final part of that world, and then we move on.
Key doors are basically, you unlock cutscenes when you use key doors.
Yeah, I called them cutscene doors when I was playing the GBA original.
They continue the story of that world, but because of how this game is set up, you have to often fight a lot of random encounters in order to get the cards you need, in order to go unlock more rooms to fulfill the requirements. So, it's good that you cut that out, I think, because otherwise people might be tired of it.
Sweet Jesus, I wouldn't say fond memories, I have vivid memories of trying for upwards of half an hour to find the correct, key card, or whatever, the room card, that the key door wanted, and I just couldn't find it. I was like, please stop, Daddy, I just want to play the game.
Yeah, I definitely had that sensation, and I always tried to cheese the room system as much as I could, making, the weakest possible shit.
Yeah.
I just did not want to fight all those enemies, and honestly, it kind of grated after a while, and that's one of the big weaknesses of Chain of Memories. It's very heavy on that kind of thing, so it can easily piss people off.
Well, we're starting small here, so Traverse Town is going in easy, shall we say.
I walk into the studio here so we can do another cutscene. Wow, it's just like the same shit I already did.
But didn't I fight guard armor here once? Where are Donald and Goofy when I need them?
They're just off in, limbo, having coffee. Oh no, they're balls of light in limbo, having coffee.
It just kind of, completely breaks my suspension of disbelief when they float down as cards and then become, physical beings again.
That's true, it's like Navi and, Zelda or something like that.
I play Navi in attack position. I'm just gonna have to bring out all the card jokes for this one.
Oh, Pluto was a card. It turns out he's a chase card. One of those rare ones you get in boosters. Yeah, did you hear about the new Donald Structure deck they put out recently? That stuff's actually pretty powerful. They're probably going to ban some of those cards soon.
You're just going to laud your trading card game knowledge over me, aren't you? Because I know you play certain trading card games.
I've played card games on and off. I tend to rely more on the card game video games, things like that, because I actually don't like playing with people. So I tend to fight against the computer and I'm done. Goofy, I have no fucking idea where we are. We're stuck in Kingdom Hearts. It's always the wackiest place to be.
Well, it's Traverse Town, but not Traverse Town. Nomura wrote down, cackling wildly, that people would get confused about what he was talking about.
I can just imagine Nomura sitting his desk writing, "It was a dark and stormy night.
It was the worst of times, it was the cards of times.
Xehanort was feeling very good."
Oh, I'd know that ass anywhere.
Well, I wasn't identifying him by that, but okay.
This is David Boreanaz's error Squall right here. Oh, sorry, Leon.
Well, I still prefer to call him Squall, personally.
My god, I never noticed the zippers on the side of his trousers before.
Of course there are zippers on the side of his trousers. It's Nomura. Of course there is.
He has like half a jacket, I notice. No, he's just going to go like back and forth, and then he's going to teach us about slides, which are, if you've been paying attention to the gameplay so far, you all know I've done once or twice, so I don't really need to pay attention to him. So Helldragon, what are your thoughts on the latest Dissidia?
Yeah, I'm fixing to say, like, is this a new Dissidia outfit? I'm looking forward to that, because I love Dissidia. The constant complaint I always had with it was you couldn't really go online reliably, but they're probably making the new one for arcades, and it's probably going to hit PS4, and then that will have proper online, and that's looking really good, so I'm really excited for that, actually.
I think, with the release of Triforce Heroes, which is a 3DS game, I finally understand your complaints about, like, not being able to do online properly, because, I think a lot of people were kind of underwhelmed in regards to Triforce Heroes, and then it was announced, it has online play, and I was like, alright, it's time to play with Helldragon, we're gonna get Mexi in there, we're gonna have like a sort of not Four Swords kind of thing. Closer to release, it's region locked. You sons of bitches!
Yeah, well, I would have been reluctant to buy that anyway, so it kind of works out, but at the same time, I really understand that you wanted to do that, so that does suck. Region locking sucks in general, I think.
Yeah, it does. I never got to play this fucker because of it.
That's true, yeah. And also Super Mario RPG, Chrono Trigger, that kind of shit. Then I am looking forward to the Final Fantasy VII Remake. How about you, boy howdy?
I can't wait to play parts 1, 2, and 7.
God, her shorts are so fucking skimpy, I just realized.
Pay attention to the Leon ass.
I don't know if that's much better.
Why does he have belts on his fucking wrists?
Well, obviously it's to keep all of his arm fat from coming out.
Like, we haven't done a Kingdom Hearts game in a while, and I'm honestly not trying to, like, be the epic, wacky YouTube commentator, man. It's just, like, some things you forget are appropriate for the game we're covering, I guess. I'm relearning stuff here. But I don't recall him having belts on his wrists at all. It's like, what time is it? His belt's o'clock.
He just looks at his wrist. It's 3 belts time. No, I got a headache. Yari, just It's still Eris. I don't fucking care. I know Aerith is the proper translation, but I grew up with Eris, and it sounds like a much better name. I'm sorry. Aerith. Yeah, that's like you're trying to say Eris, but you have like a lisp. You know, like the Emperor from fucking Life of Brian? Biggest Dickus, was that his name?
Biggest Dickus!
That's what it is! It's like Aerith!
Alright, it's time for a tutorial about stuff we already know, but then again, what isn't a tutorial if not that?
Well, they give it to you because obviously you're not going to read the manual, so... They don't even do that anymore. They don't make physical manuals. They just put it on the disc, which again saves paper, I understand, but I really miss having a nice fucking good-looking manual to look at. I always miss those.
To read on the crapper?
No, not really. Who reads on the fucking toilet? You're doing stuff in there.
I do. I've been recently playing through Rodea the Sky Soldier 3DS, and also appropriate, seeing as the game's a pile of shit. Look out for our playthrough of the Wii version in April.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Yeah, basically what we said earlier. If your opponent plays a higher attack card and you play a lower one than what they have, their attack will break through yours, and vice versa. If you both play the same value of card, like you play a 4 and he plays a 4, just a stalemate, really.
This really actually kind of makes me pine for, like, a sword-based, actual card game with, like, turns and things like that. Like, I would actually play that. You're, like, fencing, parrying, things like that. I think there have been some card games in the past. 7th Sea was, like, a pirate theme game that sort of did something like that. I don't know, I'm kind of jonesing for that right now.
I thought you were describing Fire Emblem for a bit, though.
Something like that. Didn't Fire Emblem have a card? I know Final Fantasy has a card game for some fucking reason. I don't know if Fire Emblem has one, probably. They could make one, actually, and it would be okay if they didn't make it suck.
Is that Tactics? Is that what you're describing?
What, you mean Final Fantasy?
Yeah, the card game thing.
No, it's like Final Fantasy, the card game. It doesn't use Tactics characters, it's like Lightning, Cloud, shit.
Oh, okay, I get you.
As you know, Leon is weak in the knees, so if you slide into his shins, he'll be completely helpless.
There's no belts there!
That's true, he's unprotected. Has he ever fired the Gunblade in Kingdom Hearts?
I think he used like a fireball attack in the first Kingdom Hearts, where you could fight him, but I'm honestly not sure. Maybe in like an Olympus Coliseum fight.
Now, I know for the Gunblade, when you hit the trigger, that actually makes the sword hurt more. It's a more complex explanation, but trust me, it makes the sword hurt more. That's what the trigger is for.
I like the Gunblade in terms of design, but I will never be able to wrap my head around that. It's like when you pull the trigger, the whole thing vibrates, your arm would just shake violently.
That's true, and it's a crappy handle to use for actually sword swinging, I don't know.
Yeah, I got most of it.
Yeah, sort of. I was only half paying attention, but I'm a fast learner. Hell, you were doing this already, Sora. Of course you know it.
Oh, Lady and the Tramp in the background.
Oh yeah, it is them. Again, it's been a long time.
I think it's always there when you go to Traverse Town.
Hello, Simba.
I'm a card. Everything is cards.
Always. Even your HP should have been cards. Your friends are cards. Your possessions are cards. It's just kind of a downward spiral from here.
Well, that's just your cards, man.
That's how you gotta play the cards you're dealt. That's how it works.
Castle Oblivion abides. Alright, let's move on. But first, we're going to put Simba into our deck, so I guess we can show off the deck system, eh?
Big reliance on building your own deck, and it lets you use multiple decks to switch between for particular situations. I didn't do that, of course. I just built the big fuck you deck. And I seem to recall that after a while, I eventually got fucking fed up with the game. I'm trying to remember my original run of Chain of Memories. I think after a while, I just got fucking fed up with it, and I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna cheat. Because it got really old after a while, like I've said before, so...
Now, this is what happens if you try to exit out when your CP is over the maximum amount. I didn't fuck up or anything.
No, of course not.
I was just trying to show it off. But now we have a Blizzard card and a Simba card in our deck. These are going to get us through a lot of fights in the beginning part of the game.
Obviously, the main deck you kind of want to gun towards ultimately near the end is as many 9s as many 0s as you can.
Well, you say that, but in order to use certain slides, you have to, build up a specific number of points. So if you just do 9, 9, 9, you'll come up with 27, and that's not what the slide is asking for.
That's true, but that's why I always felt slides were so unreliable, because they ask you for specific point numbers. It's much more convenient and easier to just do a basic combo attack with 3 cards, and you're pretty much covered.
This is just me doing a little bit of grinding here. In future worlds, I will be doing this off screen, so you won't be seeing this attack and fade in.
Where do they go? What happens between them? Do they reach an understanding? I certainly hope so.
I think I leave battles in where I level up, so oops, spoilers, I guess.
Spoilers, I got better at this game. Well, I'm done. Bye.
He's just a one and done kind of king.
He's probably got a cell. Hey, Simba, listen. Can you get these guys for me? That'd be great.
I'm not sure if that was in the original Chain of Memories, where, all the stuff that's bouncing around the EXP crystals would come to you at the end. It does disappear if you leave it long enough. Sometimes I will leave stuff, dangling around, because I'm focusing on, just playing the game, and I want to stay in the zone, as it were.
I seem to recall they would, you would have to go around more actively in the original version to collect all the shit. More modern Kingdom Hearts games have made it so all the stuff kind of automatically comes to you anyway. See, like that? So you don't have to run around so much for it.
Well, no, I was chasing that card. It just so happens that, I don't know, the hitbox for it extended through the wall.
Well, you're chasing the card just like in real life when you're trying to build the best deck possible. Like, I know you don't know a lot about, like, Magic the Gathering and shit like that, but you should see the kind of decks they have in the format called Elder Dragon Highlander. Those decks get upwards of, like, $100, $200 to assemble, and they're just complete combo bullshit. It's ridiculous.
Sorry, Elder Dragon Highlander?
It was a fan-made format. The official name of the format, according to Wizards of the Coast, is Commander, but nobody calls it Commander, so we're not doing that.
It's like they mushed together Dragonheart, and what was the last one?
Highlander.
And the Highlander, obviously, that one goes without saying.
Well, obviously it's the sequel, so that's why nobody talks about it.
Conversation in-house. .wave.
You know, I gotta say, I was really kind of excited to see Aeris back, in this game, and like a happier time when she doesn't get fucking killed by Sephiroth. Although, I really should think they should try to pull that in Kingdom Hearts with Sephiroth and Aerith. Like, no, I'm gonna say Aeris, no, we're not gonna do this. Like, maybe Cloud could save her this time, but still, they should try that.
Well, it hasn't happened yet. I imagine it would be really tragic if Xehanort tries to turn Sephiroth into like a fucking version of himself, and he's like, here's your one and only mission. Kill Cloud's girlfriend.
Alright, but I don't really know why. It's important, okay? Just do it.
See, he remembers.
I remember the wall he leaned on all the time.
Which is weird, because this isn't the real Squall. That's not the real Yuffie, that's not the real Aerith. They're just memory incarnations, I guess.
I gotta say, I much prefer Aerith's original design as opposed to her Kingdom Hearts design. I just like the little, that's actually denim. Did you know that? The coat she wears in Final Fantasy VII, that's red denim.
Okay.
It looks good. I much prefer that.
I'm not saying it doesn't. This game, Chain of Memories, obviously, just in case you forgot what we're playing, you can look at the tile if you need a rejig of your own memory. I would say it straddles the line between where Kingdom Hearts was very mysterious, and like legitimately mysterious, and kind of pretentious, and I think that's why I quite like Chain of Memories, because this is, as I say, is a very wishy-washy kind of description or way of describing something, but it has a good atmosphere. But when they start talking about stuff like, oh, you've forgotten forgetting, I just have to like put either the GBA or my PS2 controller down and go, really, bitch?
That's always been the biggest weakness of Kingdom Hearts. I much prefer the earlier ones because they had that atmosphere. It felt more mysterious. It felt more whimsical, if you will. It felt Disney. It really did feel Disney. And then later on, when they started trying to half-assedly put in all these themes and not really doing a good job, when they try to be more than just a straightforward story and failing at it, that's when Kingdom Hearts really started to go downhill for me. It's always been the plot in the long term, when it became more convoluted and stupid. But earlier on in games like this, and Kingdom Hearts 1, the atmosphere is a big particular reason why I still have a fondness for these kind of games.
And, Kingdom Hearts 2 definitely became more anime. Not just in terms of, jumping through skyscrapers and, like, nothing personnel kid or stuff like that. But also just the way characters talked and interacted with each other. There wasn't really much subtlety anymore, but, that's just how I feel. I still really love Kingdom Hearts 2. And I think that's why we work well in terms of covering the games, because you offer the more cynical, opinion. I'm generally more positive when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. I can let a lot more stuff go until you get to time travel in 3D, and it's like, okay, you literally wrote yourself into a corner. Kiss my fucking ass.
See, we finally found his breaking point in terms of the plot, because a plot can get so bad before even the most staunch fan will go, alright, you know what? I can't take this anymore. You've officially pushed the line, so.
It wasn't even that the plot was bad. I was enjoying how crazy 3D was, and then it's like, lol, I win. Literally nothing you can do.
Yeah, but we've said that multiple times over in these other parts, so I'm not gonna dwell back too much on it. For now, we are going to hit little men in the face.
A delightful pastime.
You know, just robbing kids, taking their cards, just like real life. It is like real life. You should have seen when Pokemon, the card game, was out, man. That was nuts.
I definitely remember scrambles in the schoolyard.
I remember when the fucking Charizard was the one everybody wanted. That thing jumped up to, like, I wonder how much it went. Like 100? Something like that? Now it ain't fucking worth nothing. But
sorry, I'm just thinking of that animated gif where it's Tom Cruise and he's got the Charizard card and then he jumps onto the helicopter and the helicopter explodes.
I don't remember that one. I'll have to see it sometime.
I think it may be Mission Impossible related, but I digress.
Well, that usually is with Tom Cruise, either that or his Oprah appearance.
Ew, it's a stagnant space.
The unclean, unwashed basement space. What, is that like a pit over there? Oh my god, it is a pit.
Well, in the original game, would you say it was kind of like an isometric sort of field? Like it was top down for the most part?
Yeah, it was very isometric when you're, going around the various rooms.
I guess they were just trying to, like, compensate here. It was like, oh, you see Sora in, like, proper third person, and the like, so just put voids everywhere. And in a way, it does kind of help, because it lends credence to the fact that this isn't the real Traverse Town. You know, it's a figment of the cards. It's not fully whole.
And obviously, in the original version, that was, it was isometric. You just assumed the outside was on the other side, of the castle.
Yeah,
but here, it's just the void thing, which does help, I admit.
Goofy smash!
I always love it when, like, a miniature Heartless somehow manages to break your mighty attack. Like, even a 1/1 Goblin can, like, break through, that kind of thing. I'm trying to think of if I can make any sort of card game references you may be able to grok a little bit without having actually played.
Grok?
Understand, it's a 4chan term, I admit.
Why don't you talk like a human every once in a while?
Because I have not talked like a human for a long fucking time.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Well, you know what? While we're here, and we are talking about card games, are there any card games you would like to try, actually?
Well, I did play the original Pokemon trading card game.
What, like in the physical card or like the video? No, this is a legitimate question. Like the physical cards or like the video game? Because I love the video game. I love both of those.
Both of those, mate.
Okay. And I've also played the actual physical Pokemon trading card game.
No, I'm laughing because you asked me a serious question, and I give you the most casual answer possible.
That's true.
No, I could go one better than that. The Harry Potter trading card game.
Dude, that game was actually not that bad, supposedly. Like, my sister wanted the Snape card, and I still want to get a Snape card from that game, just to give her as a gift. But apparently it kind of took some cues from Magic the Gathering. It was by Wizards of the Coast, of course, so... But even then, it was kind of cool to having that collectible option for Harry Potter fans at the time. I like the artwork in that game. It's actually really nice.
Also Yu-Gi-Oh! I played the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Game.
I played a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! On and off. The game's broken as fuck, but my first GBA game was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, so I still have a little bit of a soft spot for it.
Was it that Battle City one?
It was Eternal Duel of Soul, although my favorite is Worldwide Edition because Battle City is awesome. I love that setting for a tournament.
Duelist Kingdom, Battle City, the best arcs of Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't give me that fucking Seal of Orichalcos bullshit. I ain't listening.
Hey, that was anime filler. Of course it was shit. I got all my tools in here. I don't have any tools, though. This is just in case.
Just in case you forgot, Sid sounds like a hick. See Kingdom Hearts 2 for evidence.
Who voices him in Kingdom Hearts 2 again?
Well, I have Google Chrome open, so I can look it up now if you fancy.
I really wish he had his flight jacket, though. I love that fucking thing in Final Fantasy VII. Sid was great in that game.
Oh, Advent Children.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Chris Edgerly voices him.
That's familiar-ish. I know he does various roles here and there. I don't know enough off the top of my head.
He was Spider-Ham in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
Uh-oh. Bell's ringing. Boss incoming.
For whom the bell tolls, Hemingway's mad. Be careful, Sora. He's gonna flip upside down and be a completely different boss.
Oh, he's evil now.
I always love how he just kind of flings himself in like, fuck it, I'm done playing with this toy.
God Armour's here, bitch!
I don't have any knees, watch out!
And we just go straight into it. This is how bosses work in, well, either version of Chain of Memories, really. It's just you versus the boss, no partners, although partner cards will drop in periodically. There's also a special green gimmick card, which does, like, different things depending on which boss you're fighting at the time. Once we grab said gimmick card, which has, like, a Mickey Mouse emblem on it, it will cause all of, like, God Armour's parts to, like, drop to the floor, and you can get, like, a few free hits in.
And much like the original Guard Armor fight, each part has its own health bar. I would mostly recommend, from my vague memory of the original game, mostly just recommend I'm focusing on the torso. You know, I believe that was the no, the head's the weak point here, so kill the boss is what I'm trying to advise.
You should write FAQs, you know that?
I should. Just fucking do that's the whole tip for a Guard Armor. Just fucking do it, man.
I love those FAQs that try to get a little bit personable with the reader. It makes them so charming.
I know. It's kind of like having somebody actually there, like, advising you. Like, that's not bad. Like, I'm not bashing that. Like, done right, that can be good.
Oh, how do we feel about the reload system?
I understand having the reload system to prevent you from spamming recklessly. That makes sense. Like, I don't have a huge complaint about it. And because your real-time, what you can do is you can charge it a little bit, go run somewhere else, and then continue the charge, and it holds. So that's fine, I think. It makes sense for the system they were going for.
And if you're not a fan of it, good news, there's a second campaign in Chain of Memories, again, both versions, and I'm pretty sure you just hit the fucking reload thing, and it reloads instantly.
Yeah, but the drawback there is that your deck is fixed, depending on the world, so...
Don't mind me, just gonna go charge you. Ow! Ow! Ow!
That's the last time I get attacked by a cup.
Alright, Donald, let's finish this sucker.
Yeah! You finished him!
Shut up.
Good work, Donald. You sure showed Sora how to heal.
Alright, so but you can finish him off, I guess.
No, Guard Armor is the one with courage, because he's trying to fight you without any limbs. That takes guts, man.
Alright, Donald, let's try this again.
Oh, get ready for it. Oh, okay, he actually didn't attack. I was waiting for him to super heal you.
I always love the slow motion. You've done it in these Kingdom Hearts games.
Whoa, you've done it, dude.
And for beating a boss... Oh, wait, we haven't actually beaten him yet. He has to die in a cutscene as well.
Oh, I'm gonna kill the sky if you don't mind.
And defying gravity, it chooses to vanish itself. Anyway, for beating a boss, or a major enemy, or a mini-boss, or whatever, we get an enemy card.
Yeah, these allow passive bonuses when you activate them during battle. I never really noticed them active, though. They don't really make a big deal enough out of them, so it's honestly easy to forget you have those.
Yeah, you have like a secondary deck, which you can activate by pressing select. They cost quite a bit, though, so I would only recommend taking like one or two with you at any given time.
Yeah, definitely. Don't really bother with them that much, in my opinion.
Sorry, I was just looking up what Guard Armour actually does. It slightly extends the range of attack cards.
Oh, that's worth it. Because that's the thing I'm going to trust to a guy with no elbows.
True. The regular enemies have their own kind of like attack cards as well, and they give you the shadow one to begin with. Let me look at what that one does. Increases the value of all cards by 1, so like 2 becomes 3, 4 becomes 5, and so on.
Doesn't that also do that for 0, making it 1, thus making it worthless?
Huh, good point.
Yeah, so definitely watch out for that one. See you in Kingdom Hearts 2, I guess.
This thing's almost poking out my eye.
Yeah, well, we're off to imaginary work, I guess.
Why have a hotel in a town with only about 5 people?
It's always full. Always gets business. Maybe they work at the hotel. I don't know.
Please stop doing that. I'm trying to have a nice conversation here. Why is the figment of my imagination or memories asking me this? How meta.
Why is a figment of my imagination so hot? That's what I want to know. This is the kind of stuff they save for the end of other JRPGs, you notice, right? It's like the end of Link's Awakening, which is still a fantastic game, by the way.
Believe me, this is the tip of the crazy iceberg for Chain of Memories. I'm going to say this right now. You can choose to rebut however you like. I like the story of Chain of Memories.
It's not bad. I'll tell you that, and I'll be positive about this. Compared to the others, it's not bad.
Like, it got generally favourable reviews of Chain of Memories upon its release. The thing that was criticised the most, rather, was the card-based gameplay, and still people, got to grips with it eventually.
Yeah, that was pretty much the main problem, but I don't hate the story of this game. It sets up bullshit later, but at the time, I think it was decent enough, you know?
Was that such a Helldragon quote? I don't hate the story of this game.
I don't want to kill myself.
Whoa! She was there and now she's not.
Aerith apparently knows how to teleport. Aerith! You gotta do it that way from now on. What about Aerith?
Okay, calm down. She probably didn't even, teleport mysteriously away. All that happened is Sora turned around and she kind of walked away was she ever there to begin with?
No, the Sora turns around and she's like, are we done? Okay,
okay, well, bye, I guess. I'll be voiced by someone different in Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's true, thank God.
Although what's funny is, Mandy Moore voiced Aerith in Kingdom Hearts 1. And what world's turning up in Kingdom Hearts 3? Why, Tangled, of course.
Of course.
Tangled fucking owns.
Well, Tangled, and I'm surprised Frozen hasn't been announced yet. It
is coming. It complements Tangled, does Frozen, and vice versa.
Well, of course, it was only one of the most fucking successful things Disney has made recently, so of course it's going to be in. By the way, speaking of Frozen, and I'm going to try to get this in before the cutscene, you should see what frozen bagels look like the Frozen brand, not like actual frozen bagels. They put this disgusting fucking blue coloring in it, and it looks like fucking mold. I don't know who the hell eats those, but dude, get some better bagels.
Okay, well, of all the things we were going to discuss and riff in this playthrough, bagels wasn't one of them.
You made this 46 minutes, bitch! I'm doing what I can! Yes, but you can only run 3 Simbas in a deck. They had to restrict that.
I want to put a dark hole in here. Is that fun?
I think Dark Hole is unbanned right now, actually.
I aim my Donald at the castle's flotation ring.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. I just wish now they had, card game duels in this game, as opposed to actual physical combat, but cards are involved. I kind of want them to go all anime card game on me.
You kind of remind me of the puzzle duels you could see in, later games.
Yeah, something like that.
Alright, cutscene time.
Always is cutscene time.
Well, it's an RPG, you've got to expect cutscene time.
Oh, the door's blowing up. Oh, no, we're fine. Oh, that was the door to Kingdom Hearts, okay.
Took you sweet-ass time, didn't you?
It'd be great if his name was Clancy or something. Clancy. I like the Kung Fu pose without his actual weapon out, by the way.
Oh, he's getting ready. He's primed to deliver a Keyblade to his noggin. Squee!
Hi, Axel.
Hello.
Oh, boy.
Hello, Quentin Flynn. How are you doing today?
What do you want?
Alright, I'm going to get this out of the way right now. What Helldragon said in part 1, about the script being pretty much ripped from the original translation or whatever, I'm not sure that's entirely true. I think it was altered slightly for RE Chain of Memories. But it's still quite stilted. And the thing here is, in terms of the timeline, Axel hadn't really interacted much with Roxas yet, so he's still full nobody, which involves faking his emotions. So Quentin Flynn's performance as Axel in this game is very hammy, it's over the top, and it verges on being quite awkward.
Yeah, it's really not the Axel we all come to know and love, really. And I say love tentatively because I do kind of like Axel a little bit. But, he's very awkward and stilted in this game, like you said. I'm so flattered that you would fuck me in your video game.
Oh, your cards, you're giving me a shiny. I'm so flattered, but you're too late.
And they bring back the original arena. This arena showed up in this game, and then they brought it back for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, where you could fight the organization members again.
Well, either one or the other, or way around, I guess. Pro tip for this fight. Blizzards. Blizzards all day, every day. Never take fire into an Axel fight. Yes, there are multiple ones, because fire obviously will heal him.
You know, it's like Pokemon, pretty much.
Oh, Firewall, he's busting out his own slight now.
Crossfire Hurricane Special!
Nope.
No Crossfire. Sorry, Abdul.
Did you ever have problems busting out the zero cards? Like, you obviously have to use it after the enemy has announced their attack. But unlike certain enemies, this is like mostly in group fights, I found it kind of hard to time.
Well, when I first played this game, I was really spammy with the cards, but after a while I kind of learned to pace myself. I arranged the O cards, like, just before the recharge button, so I can easily do them and just throw it out whenever a slight was coming up. So after a while, I got used to kind of being more patient and defensive. Still fighting with wheels, huh?
Oh, he's almost done. Axel 1 isn't too hard. Axel 2, on the other hand, oh boy.
Axel 2, the sequel, the revengeance, if you will.
Please don't be fire.
Well, we won't know for sure now, will we? Donald, can you heal me again? That would be great.
Oh, he can teleport, that's not fair.
Well, you could do that in the original game, too. That's how they kind of cheesed around the whole, it was like a 2D perspective in the fight mode.
Right in the organization, dick.
Oh god, yeah, you did hit him in the dick. Dude! Oh, it's glowing and on fire.
I think I'd explode and drop experience points for my opponent to take as well.
Oh, okay, we can use this to bypass the barrier in the first level and access the new area. I'm happy about this. He's just smiling. Like, yeah, this is great.
I miss default face.
Oh, it singes. Ooh, okay.
It hurts so good.
Another one? What to do?
Same shit as always.
Kinda looks like the card you used when you made Traverse Town.
Maybe it'll work in the same way.
I hope it's not another whimsical place.
Going. That's right.
I'm still here.
Still leaning on this wall. The whole place will go down if I get off. Oh no!
No, I like to imagine he was there the whole time while they were just like examining the card. I'll just wait for him to finish, I guess.
I would give up oh so easily.
Oh no, I'm gonna milk this performance for all it's worth. Quentin Flynn got to get paid.
Congratulations, Sora.
Don't sass me, Jack the Ripper.
Ready to take on Castle Oblivion.
Ka-ching! Every time I say it, we get a royalty.
Follow your memories.
Did I mention I am Timon sometimes?
But you forget.
Yeah, seek what you forget. I think in the original that's where he said, you've forgotten forgetting or something. Or maybe I just made it up. You know, like in Dragon Ball Z, the spirit bomb fails.
You just have to give some more thought to who it is that's most important to you.
Oh, well, if it's not Kyrie, who could it be?
Precious memories lie so deep within
Clearly
our
it's
hearts
Donald.
that
He is very special to us.
Oh, you've got default face, and then you combine it with default animation.
Because you're cute, Sora.
lost sight of the light within the darkness, and it seems that you've forgotten that you forgot.
There's that line.
God, this is just like really blunt force translation here.
I mean, it's true. You can forget that you've forgotten something, but just the way it's said in this game.
Can you catch the bird in my hand?
Sora, do you need it?
No, I won't use a hint coin. I'm fine.
I'm gonna figure it out for myself.
You kind of got me jonesing for a Kingdom Hearts puzzle game in the style of Professor Layton there.
You do it in the style of Panel de Pawn, and you've got a winner.
Good answer. Just what I'd expect from the Keyblade Master.
Yeah, where's Ven when you need him?
Yeah.
But be forewarned.
My face will be back, and it will be as bland and rigid as ever.
You may no longer be who you are now.
Yeah, wait till KH2, bitch. It's gonna be crazy.
How very cryptic. Whoa, okay, too many cards at once.
Yeah, don't open a booster like that. That's really traumatizing.
What's your biggest memory of getting a really cool booster pack?
I have not bought a lot of booster packs, I can't really tell you. I once bought a deck in Magic the Gathering that was full of mirrors, which are like little artifact creatures, and mirrors are actually some of my favorite creatures in Magic ever. Just cool little robot guys, you know, that kind of thing. So I have a fondness for that.
I think mine was like finding a shiny Blastoise or some shit. Same as before, just white. Endless white corridors.
I'm gonna have to vacuum all this, aren't I? Oh, shit, I hate this job. See, I told you he chills on the hood!
Okay.
Well, you see, what Axel said back there worries me.
Which is kind of weird. You shouldn't really trust what a villain says.
No longer be who you are.
Well, that's called puberty,
I can
Jiminy.
no longer be me. How can I be anyone else?
I'm just Haley Joel Osment. That's me.
The lovable Haley Joel Osment, now available.
Yep. Feels like just about anything could happen here in Castle Oblivia.
Now, what's funny is, you could probably make the argument that they're starting to forget stuff as they go through, like, you know, floor after floor. But Goofy's kind of not all there to begin with, so...
Yeah, that's true. So, you can kind of interpret that either way.
Like at that creepy castle we explored together. The one with all those weird contraptions.
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific here.
The Mall of America?
That was a great Viva La Bam episode.
I can't remember. What was it called?
Getting old.
Gorge. Oh, it was,
Holler, holler!
Holly? Holler?
Holly Bastardon.
I like that person.
I can't remember.
But it's my namesake. Ah, well, that's enough Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories for today, guys. We'll see you on the next upload day, which is Wednesday, for more of this. Bye!